What if the next chapter of Heartland starts with a moment that changes everything Amy thought she knew about her future? Heartland Season 20 is already giving fans plenty to talk about, and the first look feels bigger, more emotional, and more exciting than ever. Amy is facing a new chapter, the family is changing, and the ranch may once again become the place where the biggest decisions are made. But what makes this new season so interesting is the feeling that something unexpected is waiting just around the corner. One decision could change Amy's path, one emotional moment could bring the family closer, and one surprise could completely change the story we thought we knew. Heartland has always been more than a story about horses and a family ranch. At its heart, it is about people trying to find their way through love, loss, family problems, and the choices that shape their future. That is exactly why a new season can feel so exciting. After everything Amy has been through, Season 20 has the chance to show us a very different side of her life. She is no longer simply trying to survive the next problem. She is looking ahead and asking a much bigger question. What does she really want from her future? The first look at a new season naturally makes fans search for clues, and this time, there are plenty of things to wonder about. Amy remains at the center of the story, but the world around her continues to change. The ranch is still her home, her work with horses is still a huge part of her life, and her family is still the force that keeps pulling her back whenever life becomes difficult. But growing older also means making choices that cannot be avoided forever. That is what could make Season 20 so powerful. Amy may have to choose between holding onto the life she knows and taking a chance on something completely new. That choice could affect not only her career, but also her relationships and the future of Heartland itself. The emotional side of this story could become just as important as the action involving the horses, and then there is the family. Heartland has never been afraid to put its characters through difficult moments, and Season 20 could continue that tradition. A simple conversation could turn into a serious disagreement. A family decision could bring old feelings back to the surface. Even a happy moment could hide a problem that nobody sees coming. The most exciting part is that the story does not need a huge twist to feel powerful. Sometimes the smallest decision can create the biggest change. A look between two characters, a difficult conversation, or a choice made at the ranch could tell us more than a dramatic scene ever could. And if this first look is giving us one clear message, it is this: Amy's story is entering another important chapter. The question is not whether change is coming. The real question is whether Amy is ready for it. Amy has spent years helping other people find hope through horses, but Season 20 could be the moment when she finally has to focus on herself. That is what makes this new chapter so interesting. Instead of simply reacting to whatever life puts in front of her, Amy may be ready to make choices on her own terms. And when someone like Amy starts changing, the people around her cannot stay the same either. The Heartland Ranch has always been connected to Amy's identity. It is where she feels most comfortable, where she understands horses better than almost anyone, and where so many of her biggest memories were created. But staying in the same place does not mean her life has to stay the same. Season 20 could explore what happens when Amy begins looking beyond the life she has always known. There could also be a new pressure on Amy as she tries to balance her work, her family, and her personal life. She has always been the person others turn to when they need help. But who does Amy turn to when she is the one who needs answers? That question could become one of the most emotional parts of the new season. What makes this even more exciting is the possibility of Amy facing a choice where there is no perfect answer. One path could keep her close to everything she loves, while another could open the door to a completely different future. Either way, someone she cares about could be affected by her decision, and this is where the trailer and first look could become especially important. A few seconds of Amy looking worried, walking away from the ranch, or sharing an emotional conversation could mean much more than it appears. Heartland often tells its biggest stories through small moments, and fans know that one quiet scene can sometimes carry more emotion than a huge dramatic event. There is also the question of Amy's relationships. After everything she has experienced, she may not be willing to settle for a life that does not feel right anymore. Her next step could force her to be honest about what she wants, what she fears, and who she wants beside her. But Amy is not the only one changing. Every decision she makes will affect the people around her. Her family may have their own plans, their own problems, and their own hopes for the future. That could create some of the strongest emotional moments of season 20. The biggest mystery is simple. Will Amy choose the safe path? Or will she finally take a risk and build a future that looks completely different from the one she imagined? If season 20 follows through on that idea, Amy could be standing at one of the biggest turning points in her entire Heartland journey. At Heartland, one person's decision never stays personal for long. When Amy changes direction, the entire family feels it. And that could be one of the biggest reasons season 20 feels so exciting. The ranch may look familiar, the horses may still be running through the fields, and the family may still gather around the same table, but underneath all of that, something is changing. Jack has always been one of the strongest voices in the family. His experience and calm nature often help everyone see things more clearly. But even Jack cannot solve every problem. Season 20 could put him in situations where the family needs his advice more than ever, while also forcing him to deal with changes he cannot control. Tim could bring another layer of drama to the story. His personality has always created both funny and emotional moments, but his choices can also cause problems for the people closest to him. If Tim finds himself facing a major decision, it could create tension that spreads across the entire ranch. And knowing Tim, things may not go exactly as planned. Lou could also have an important role in the family's changing future. She has always wanted the best for the people she loves, but wanting to protect someone and knowing what is actually best for them are two very different things. If Amy makes a decision Lou does not agree with, their relationship could face a difficult test. Then there is Georgie. Her story has always been connected to growth, independence, and finding her own place in the world. If season 20 continues that journey, she could face choices that make her question where she truly belongs. Her next move could also affect the family in ways nobody expects, and that is what makes the Heartland family so special. They do not always agree. They argue, they make mistakes, and sometimes they hurt each other without meaning to. But when something truly matters, they usually find their way back to each other. The trailer could give us only small pieces of these stories, but those small moments may be enough to create huge questions. Why is Amy looking so serious? What is causing tension between the family members? Is someone preparing to leave? Is another character about to make a decision that changes everything? There is also the ranch itself. Heartland is not just a location. It feels like another character in the story. Every new problem, every celebration, and every emotional goodbye happens against the backdrop of this place. If the family is changing, the future of the ranch could change with them. Season 20 therefore has the chance to bring the family closer while also testing their strongest relationships. And if the first look is only showing us the beginning, then there may be much bigger surprises waiting when the full story finally unfolds. Sometimes, the biggest Heartland moments are not the loudest ones. There does not have to be a huge accident or a shocking argument to make fans stop and ask, what just happened? One short look, one unfinished conversation, or one character walking away can create more questions than an entire episode. That is why every small detail in the season 20 trailer and first look could matter. Imagine seeing Amy standing alone at the ranch, looking at something that clearly has her worried. At first, it might seem like another emotional scene. But what if that moment is connected to a decision that could change her future? What if someone has given Amy news she never expected? And what if the answer is hidden in another scene that fans might not notice on the first viewing? That is where the excitement begins. The trailer could also give us clues about the horses and Amy's work. Her connection with horses has always been at the heart of Heartland, so any unusual horse behavior could become an important part of the story. A horse in trouble could bring Amy into a new situation, while a difficult case could remind her why she chose this path in the first place. But the emotional scenes may be even more important. A serious conversation between family members could hint at a problem that has been growing for a long time. A simple hug could suggest that someone is struggling. Even a smile could hide something deeper. Heartland has a way of making ordinary moments feel important, and season 20 could use that style once again. Then comes the biggest question: relationships. Could someone be ready to move forward while another person is still holding on to the past? Could Amy's next decision create tension with someone close to her? Could a family member reveal a secret that changes the way everyone sees the situation? These are the kinds of questions that make a trailer exciting without revealing the entire story. And there is another possibility that fans should keep in mind. A trailer can make one moment look like the biggest event of the season, while the real surprise is hiding somewhere else. A scene that appears to be about one character could actually be setting up another character's story. That means every frame could be worth watching carefully. If Season 20 follows the emotional style that has made Heartland so popular, then the real power may come from the choices rather than the action. Someone may have to say goodbye. Someone may finally tell the truth. Someone may take a risk. And someone may discover that the future they wanted is not the future they actually need. That is why this first look feels so exciting. It is not simply about seeing the Heartland family again. It is about wondering where these characters are going next. After everything Amy and the Heartland family have been through, Season 20 feels like more than just another chapter. It feels like a new beginning. The ranch is still standing, the family is still connected, and Amy is still trying to find the right path forward. But this time, the future could look very different from the past. The biggest reason fans are excited is because Heartland has always made its characters feel real. They grow, they make mistakes, they fall in love, they lose people, and they learn how to keep moving forward. That emotional connection is what makes every new season feel personal. When Amy faces a difficult choice, fans feel it with her. When the family celebrates, fans celebrate with them. Season 20 could continue that tradition while giving everyone something new to fight for. Amy may have to decide what comes next in her personal and professional life. Lou could face changes of her own. Georgie could be looking toward a future that takes her in a new direction. Tim and Jack could once again find themselves trying to keep the family together when things become difficult. And then there is the ranch. And no matter how much the characters change, Heartland remains the place that brings them back together. It represents family, memories, second chances, and the idea that even after the hardest days, there can still be another morning. That message could become even more important as the story moves forward. The trailer and first look may only show small pieces of what is coming, but those pieces are enough to create some very big questions. Who will make the next major decision? Who will surprise everyone? Will Amy finally take a completely new path? And could one unexpected event change the future of the entire family? Whatever happens, one thing is clear: the emotional heart of Heartland is still alive. Season 20 has the chance to bring back the warmth, family drama, beautiful horses, and emotional moments that fans have loved for years. But it can also push these characters into places they have never been before. That combination is what could make the next chapter so special. So, if you have been watching Heartland from the beginning, this may be the time to pay close attention. Every look, every conversation, and every decision could be pointing towards something bigger. Now the real question is yours. What do you think Season 20 will do with Amy's story? Do you think she is ready for a completely new chapter? Or will the Heartland Ranch continue to be the center of her life? Share your prediction in the comments, because if this first look is only the beginning, the biggest surprises may still be waiting for us.